This video is going to be dedicated to the first step in creating a new registration in Viva. However, it's mostly going to be focused around explaining the different sections within that new registration. So we are going to start by hitting the blue button here and hit create new registration. You can access this from the registration page or from the home page. It'll take you to the same place. We're going to go through and fill in all of this metadata for the registration based on what you know at the time. Now, as a registration is created, you develop and learn more information throughout the process, and Viva should be updated accordingly as you learn and begin to know that information. So we do know the location of the product. This is a product in Africa, and will not have a legacy reference ID. This is just information that we used for the migration from our legacy Bear systems into Viva. I do know for my made up product that I'm using here, the market segment. However, you may or may not know that at the time. And I do know the registration name that I'm going to use. So I'm going to call this Natalie's Test Product for YouTube. All right, and if you want to make any comments, the comments are helpful sometimes because they show up in your search on the main page, and you can show them as one of your columns. So all right, the product line is extremely useful, and this is what will link your registration to documents. So knowing the product line and implementing that in Viva as soon as possible is crucial. You can search by pasting here or filter by active ingredient. The product nature, select which is most applicable. Product use, this is an insecticide since it's part of the vector control. Product type, I'm going to say this is an in-use product. Now for your business decision, business decision is based on if the product is being actively sold and manufactured in the region that it is registered. So since this is neither being sold and it's not registered yet at all, it is still in the pending state. I'm going to place it in pending. Okay, and then I'm going to hit save. When you hit save, this will generate a new registration record. So and also known as a new registration object, which is the term that Viva uses for their terminology. So this is a registration object, and we now have new related objects on the left-hand side. So these are all empty currently because we haven't associated any of them with this registration. So we're going to go into the edit mode here by clicking the pencil and fill out the related objects that we can currently. So I know we might be able to fill out some registration details. The approval dates and whatnot cannot be filled in at this point because we don't have that information yet. We're in the planned phase. The registration number has not been given because it has not been registered. However, some countries and regions give a preliminary registration number. So if you happen to register your product in one of those countries, that can be placed here. Usually this is an alpha code. And if you were to know, if you were in the US and if you knew if it was a restricted product or not, you could place that information there, or the shelf life information that could be updated here. Trade name information could potentially be updated in these early planning phases. You can begin by searching to see if your Natalie's Test Product YouTube is here. So I will simply click and say OK. If your name is not in the system, you can simply hit create and add the trade name that you are looking to add to the system. If there is only one trade name, you do not need to click this checkbox. However, if you have multiple trade names and you want to identify one name as a main trade name, you may use this box to identify that as the main trade name. Moving on to the next is the product involvement section. So this section is to identify any companies that are involved with this product and what their involvement is. So in this case, the only company that is involved is Enview. And we are the registration holder. And I would enter my information here. To show that we are a registration holder of this product, and I am the current registration manager of the product and who to contact for this company. All right, regulatory actions we will come back to because there are certain related objects that we cannot make any additions to without the creation of a regulatory action. So related specifications is one, declaration of composition is one as well, so is the production site and all of the labels. So state registration products is something that's specific to the United States and Brazil. So we will skip over that for now, and we will have specific training videos on that at a later time. We will jump to co-dependencies here. And this section is dedicated to, oh, the system's letting me know that I need to save some data. So let me make sure I do that. And then I will go back down to the codependency section. So by clicking create, the codependency section is if this product that is being entered in Viva has any of these criteria. So is it 100% repack or a virtual repack, or includes components of 100% repack, registered multi-pack, virtual repack. And if any of those are true, you can enter that information here. So I'm going to say this is 100% repack of the registration R10, and that is automatically entered in. Save. At this point, I've entered most of the information that I know about this planned product registration, and I would take the time to review it, and then my next step would be to create my regulatory action and begin the process of a new submission package, which we will do in our next video.